Before we get into this review, I will be talking about spoilers for the movie. So if you do not want any spoilers or anything like that, please click off of this video. But make sure you leave a like first before you leave. Thank you. Drink tea. What it do? It's your boy Daffy, and today we're back. We're not back with anything. This is new. So today we have something different, and I might start doing this more in the future. But today we're actually going to be doing a movie review. We're going to be reviewing Venom. Let There Be Carnage. I will tell you, I was actually pretty hyped for this movie. I think the original trailer came out, I want to say mid 2020, I believe. No. I think the first teaser was in the 2020. But yeah, I'm a okay-ish comic book person. Like, I have some knowledge here and there, but like I don't actively like read comic books like that. But I sometimes, at 3 a.m. I make my ventures onto fandom, and then I read for hours. But yeah, so I honestly, with this film, I think a lot of people had lowered expectations because of the first Venom movie. Like, to me, the first Venom movie wasn't as bad as people thought. I thought it was goofy, fun, and like it's a campy movie, bro. The first Venom movie was a fun movie, period. And I think people kind of overthought it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Honestly, I didn't really mind it that much. So when I came into this one, I kind of expected the same thing, and for the most part, I got the same thing that I thought I ordered, if that makes sense. So, starting off real quick, the effects in this movie look absolutely phenomenal. I love the effects in this movie. Venom still looks really good. Carnage looked really, really good. The stunts looked pretty good as well. The scene where Venom was walking in like that nightclub and he had like the glow sticks on his neck. I don't know why, but that scene actually cracked me up. I was the only one laughing at that in the theater, and I was kind of like snickering to myself. Like, I'm just sitting in my chair, bro. I'm just sitting in my chair, just. I may be wrong. I'm probably wrong, but I swear they made Venom taller. You know what? Actually, the reason I think he's taller is because Carnage is a little taller than him, and then I'm scaling him to everyone else, and I'm like, I'm like, oh my god, like, why is Venom so big? But yeah, I did like how they kind of not snuck. I mean, they'd say it a bunch, but the Lethal Protector, obviously, that was the run of one of Venom's comics. That's what he went by when he was in San Francisco in the comics. But I think that was some clever nods here and there. I was kind of perturbed by how Anne was acting in the beginning. Like, she leveled out near the end, but I don't know. In the beginning, she just acted like a totally different character. Like, she just seemed very just abrasive, inconsistent. Like, I don't know. She was like, "Oh, Eddie, why don't you act like this? And you should be happy for." Like, it was weird. I don't know. I think pretty much everyone's acting was solid enough. Nothing really glared out at me. And this might have just been my theater, but I swear Venom was super hard to hear at the beginning of the movie. I swear at the beginning of the movie, Venom was really, really hard to understand. But again, I think it was like after like the past like 30 minutes, I could understand her more clearly. And I think I had a similar issue with the first Venom, I guess. I don't know. Actually, like, going to the main stage of this movie, I thought Woody Harrelson did a fine enough job as Cletus Kasady. I mean, we haven't had a silver screen Carnage, so there's not that much to compare him to, except like the Amazing Spider-Man 90s series, whatchamacallit, the games, but those, I guess. I think it's fine. Obviously the dumb wig's gone, thank God. So that's fine, but I don't know. I wasn't in love with his Cletus Kasady, but I didn't hate it either. I was a little indifferent. The actual Carnage symbiote itself, I feel, was slightly underdone, but it wasn't too bad. And the thing is that if this was a rated R movie, this would have gone a totally different way, and I would not be saying what I'm saying now. Because for some reason Sony decided that making a better movie it takes less precedent than making money. So I guess that was disgusting. Yeah, I did actually really like that scene where Carnage is like driving out with Sheik, and he's like on top of the car, and like all the like the fluids going out. I really like that. Shriek, by the way, I'm debating how I feel about her. Because, like, I know she was a whole thing in the comics, and I know that, she had her own symbiote and all that good stuff, but it just seemed like she was more of a plot device than an actual character. Like, she was just crazy the entire movie. I mean, like, yeah, she didn't really like the Carnage symbiote, which is fine, but I don't know. She didn't really have motivations. like you could say that Cletus was her motivation. You could say that her motivation was to kill the cop, who I assume will be turning into Toxin in the next movie, which is fine. But I don't know, the way they handled her was a little weird. This movie feels like it was cut up. This movie definitely feels like there was a bunch of that stuff that was edited out. I would be very intrigued to see if there's a director's cut. If there's a director's cut, I feel like a lot of my problems will be calmed with this movie. I know a lot of people said the plot was boring. I didn't think the plot was boring at all. I thought the plot was fine. I didn't think it was, good, bad. I thought it was just okay. There are a couple things that I do have some questions on. How did Cletus Kasady know all this stuff about Tom Hardy, about Eddie Brock? How did he know all this stuff? He started talking about his mom having a miscarriage when she had him, how his dad never wanted him, all this stuff. It's like really personal stuff that I don't
know how he knows this.
There's no way. You were in a maximum security prison, unless again there's some cut footage somewhere and they show like him talking to a guard or something. I don't know. It's weird. Then Carnage hacking into the internet. Carnage just like plugging into the USB drive of a computer and then getting maximum security files. Like it's just silly. Like stuff like that. It's just like, okay, I don't think on it too hard, but I'm just like, okay, whatever. I don't know. The scene on the bridge where Woody Harrelson and Carnage like make their deal, and they're like deal. And Carnage just throws a guy off the bridge. That cracked me up. I don't know. Yeah, there was not enough blood and stuff in this movie, and I don't have that much of an issue with it because it's PG-13. And I kind of expected it, but I know a lot of people are just like seething anger because they're like, oh my god, they got in Carnage. Like there's a scene where Carnage escapes from prison, and in that scene, there's like he just throws guys around, and like the worst thing he does in the scene is like stick his tongue down his guy's chest, but you don't really see anything. It's just very apparent that this was heavily censored. I'm kind of not a fan of that, but I'm fine. But I would have liked to see him cutting off some limbs, some blood flying, some guts, I don't know, just something. The destruction was a little lacking, but they did what they could, so I'm not too mad at it. The final fight, I thought the final fight was it was good. It looked good. What I am a little confused about, and this is just movie scaling, and I'm not gonna worry about it too much, but the fact that Carnage was stronger than Venom was a little weird to me, because Carnage was like, and he is also eating more, so I guess it kind of answers my question, but stay with me. When Carnage like has like all the extra tendrils and stuff like that, why can't Venom do that regularly? Like that's weird to me. I know there have been iterations of Venom that have that, but like Venom I don't know. It's just there's this the scene where like Venom's trying to cheer Eddie up, and he's like throwing all the pots and pans and all that kind of stuff. Like that kind of. But those seemed like they were like active. Like Venom had to think about those. Like Carnage's tendrils seemed like they were like passive, and they like kind of like did their own thing. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, why can't Venom do that? I don't know. I also feel like they didn't really explain why Carnage being a red symbiote was any significance, because Venom kind of freaked out, but they didn't explain why. They didn't explain why. I don't know. It was weird. I feel like a lot of dialogue was cut out of this movie, and that's why it feels kind of weird. Yeah, the cop, Patrick Mulligan, I mean, he was fine. Honestly, I had no idea that was Toxin until I saw his eyes glow. Even afterwards, it took me a second. Because the cop, I'm just like, okay, this cop or whoever, like, I don't really care. Like, he was okay in the movie, and, like, he didn't do that much. But there at the end, his eyes started glowing, and I was like, what? Like, how? Like, I was just really confused, and I'm like, Mulligan, Patrick. Oh, I eventually figured it out. I wish they would have shown when Carnage gave him the symbiote. They probably did show it at some point in the church scene. I just was paying attention and looking for it because I forgot that was Toxin. And those that don't know, Toxin is the grandson of Venom and is son of Carnage. I say son in grandson loosely. I mean, their symbiotes are asexual. I believe. No, yeah, I think symbiotes are asexual and they asexually produce, so they don't really have genders. But yeah, so he's the grandson of Venom. But yeah, I don't know, man. I thought the movie was okay. That post-credit scene. Oh man, I was trying so hard not to nerd out in that theater, dude. I'm sitting there in that theater just like, oh boy, dude. I'm sitting there just freaking out because I see Tom Holland's Spider-Man, like finally gonna interact with Eddie Brock. Oh my god, I can't wait. It's gonna be weird to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man fight Venom, which I hope they do. But because Venom, like, he's always been bigger than Spider-Man, but Tom Holland's Spider-Man's a little like on the petite side. Like I think he's like 5'7", 5'8". He's like my height. I'm short. He's like 5'7", 5'8", and you know Venom's just huge, hulking. And like in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, like Tom Holland's like about that size. But like I don't know, it's gonna be weird seeing that on screen. But I think I have faith Marvel will figure it out. I don't think that Venom will appear in Spider-Man No Way Home. If he does, it's probably gonna be in the end credit scene, if anything. But yeah, honestly, overall, man, this movie was not that bad. This movie was okay. Honestly, I would probably have to give this movie a B+. B+. I thought it did what it did well. I thought the humor was on point for the most part. Some of the jokes were a little overdone, but it didn't really disrupt my enjoyment too much. So yeah, I'm overall probably gonna give this movie a B+. Probably like an 85, 86. It's cool. I liked it. It's solid. Anyway, guys, that does it for today's video. You leave a like, make sure y'all subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, if you guys want more videos like this in the future, please let me know. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next video. Peace.